Hey everyone, this is Carter from Stardust Drive, and right here I am going to be doing a solo run of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Now I had this idea after basically rewatching all of the original run-through, by all of I mean the only first three parts that we've put up, of the multiplayer run-through. Now, basically, this got me thinking, what if I wanted to do a solo run-through of the game? And that is what I'm going to do. And this one is not going to be like the multiplayer run-through that we had. I'm sorry, I'm just adjusting the camera here. But this one's not going to be like the multiplayer run-through that we have, because that one is pretty much all joking around, all fun and games. This one's going to be a little bit more educational or like informational, as I actually get into a few little quirks about this game, and well, since I'm the one that pretty much plays it, I'm going to be doing my own little solo run-through, like I said at the beginning. Let's see, let's come up with a town for this. Let's just call it, Star Drive. Let's just call it Star Driv. Star Driv. Done. Alright, so basically Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is a game that's kind of like if you took Final Fantasy and mixed it with Gauntlet, or like a 4-player action-adventure type of game, like RPG. Basically what you do is go around from dungeon to dungeon and you collect drops of what's called myrrh. I can get into the whole lore right now, but the first thing you do is you immediately make your town and you make a character. Since I'm doing a solo run-through, well, since you start here, you have 8 empty slots. That ensures there's like 4 characters and then like 4 backup characters. But really, since I'm doing a solo run-through, I only need 1 character. So I was talking about with a bunch of people about what class I should go with for this. And I've gotten a few different ideas, of which I'm going to name my character Kikuchi, because that's my character that's basically, he's my Smash tag, and he's a character I've made, so that's pretty much what I'm going to do about that. And I've decided, because if you're going through the solo run-through, everyone recommends going down the Clavat route. And there's a reason for that, because Lil T, Yuke, and Selkie are basically the fighter, mage, thief classes. They're basically, their strengths are in, well, strength, magic, and just quickness. But the Clavat is the all-around class, and that's what everyone says. It's kind of like the Borderlands thing, where if you're playing by yourself, people tell you to play the soldier class, because that way you have no weaknesses. The Clavat pretty much can build into anything. But on this, I decided I'm going to go the Lil T route. Now, for this Lil T route, I'm going to go with the bucket head looking guy, so that's going to be Kikuchi's little face here. Let's see, for the family trade, I'll have to come back to this one often, so let's go I'll just go basic and go the blacksmith route. So my character is Kikuchi. He is a male Lil T with the bucket head look, and he is going to be of the blacksmith trade. So basically, whenever you make a character and you start the game, you get a little opening of your character in your town meeting your family, which is what we're about to see here. So, as it says here, today you finally step out into the world in search of myrrh. You come safely back to Star Driv. Alright, and that was my dad. My mom says, should you find any materials for smithing, bring them back to us. We'll forge you a fine weapon. That's what the blacksmith family does. If you take any sort of scrolls or stuff to them, they can help you build that stuff into weapons, which is really useful. My sister says, we'll miss you. Okay, I don't really care. And my little sister, okay, I have 2 sisters in this family. Your little sister says, you'll be back soon, right? Probably not. Be sure to eat well, says my dad. Now, Let's see. Then you get this little blurb here about your family again. Kikuchi, the blacksmith's son, is sent off by his father Lyle, his mother Calla, and his sister Cal, and his other sister Mimi. And you get a little crest of your race at the back there. So that's mine. That crest actually becomes useful to know in one of the later levels, but we'll get to that when we can. So basically, when you start off the game, you get this whole map screen area with what looks like 3 different areas you can go to. The full map screen is much larger than this, but right now these are the only places that we can go to right now. And what you're expected to do is go from dungeon to dungeon and collect these drops of myrrh to basically fill your chalice. 3 drops of myrrh equals 1 year. Now immediately when you start, you go into this little tutorial segment. I think we didn't go through the tutorial segment in the multiplayer. And this one I'm not going to go through it either because I already know how to play the game. So, hail fellow traveler, or caravaner, you are the caravan from Stardriv, are you not? I heard they were sending out a new caravan, you seem quite capable. My name is SoloLP. Kind of like the Little T's design for Alphateria. These guys are the caravan from Alphateria, there's like 5 Little T's here. I am captain of the caravan from the great fortress of Alphateria. See what I mean? It wasn't a spoiler. Our caravan boasts a history that stretches back thousands of years, but let us discuss that some other time. Stiltskin, do you have a moment? Now Stiltskin here is a little Moogle that, you see him right down there in the corner. He's a Moogle that basically tells you a bunch of stuff. He helps you with the tutorial. You just ask him a bunch of shit and he'll deliver. This is the caravan from Stardriv. Come on, say hello. And then he waddles over here. Allow me to introduce Stiltskin. He may not look like it, but he is a seasoned adventurer. Even we turn to him for counsel from time to time. No, I'm just a Moogle that likes to get around. I learned all sorts of things in my travels before I knew it. I'm on my way somewhere right now, but I can teach you a thing or two if you like. We already know how to play this. Well, I already know how to play this game. Basically, the tutorial tells you all the different main commands that you learn in-game, but I can explain that all in the first level. It's pretty easy. Once you get all this stuff down, then it's a pretty easy game to pick up. I highly recommend you accept this offer. Yes, you wouldn't want to miss out. They give you 2 chances to go through the tutorial here, but if you choose no on both of them, that's like, fuck it, I don't care. Well, I'm sure he will do just fine. Now, this here is something that did not happen in the multiplayer. In single player, you still have the chalice, but you're on the field by yourself. So you need someone to carry the chalice for you, which you get this little Moogle called Mog. And this is him talking. By the way, are you setting out all by yourself, Kupo? You've got a lot on your shoulders, Kupo. Let me carry the crystal chalice for you, Kupo. So basically, the little Moogle there flying around SoloLP's head, basically he'll carry the chalice for you in the map, so you can go around doing battles, and you won't have to worry about the chalice for that. You won't have to worry about it that much at all. Yeah, I'm starting to repeat myself. So yes, a capital proposal. Let Mog help you. Be careful out there, you don't want to get in over your head. Yeah, so basically in multiplayer, you're expected to go around and what was it? You're supposed to juggle the chalice between your party, but if you're working by yourself, it's really hard to do that and battle at the same time. So before I go to the first dungeon, let's go and check out my town. This is very quick. We didn't do this in the multiplayer level, so I'll just go around and talk about each area. So right here, whenever you go into a dungeon or a town, you get this little mint. You get to see your little character running around. Depending on what position, like what slot you guys are in, it'll show the character's color underneath them, followed by their name at the top left and how many hearts they have. So basically, whenever you move someone in to your town, they'll fill up one of these spots here. In our multiplayer level, I made my character a merchant, and his family was right here. This is the merchant's house. When no one is put into any of these houses, there'll be this little Moogle here saying nobody's home. There's 8 different places here, so there's the miller over here, the merchant right over here, the rancher over here. If you go up this way, you'll find the alchemist's house here. That house is something else, but your crystal's up here with your little stuff here. The blacksmith's house here, and my character is a blacksmith, so if I go over to my dad and I talk to him, he can help forge me any armor if I bring back any sort of materials for him. Up here is the tailor. We're going to go up that way in a minute. I'm just going to come back over here. There's some more houses over here. There's the farmer over here. And there is the fisherman over here. Now each house actually gives you a special perk. I chose the blacksmith because it's the most accessible for me as a loyalty because I'm very much strength oriented and focused on my weapons. If you come all the way up here, I think there's a secret spot in every town which lets you get some sort of item. This is a wheat seed, so basically I can send that home to my family after I beat a dungeon. They can come back with like a whole thing of wheat. I can explain that stuff when that happens, but that happens like at the end of a dungeon. Other than that, the seeds are kind of useless. But basically, every family kind of gives you something. There are four of the trades actually give you a service, while the other 4 trades kind of give you something related to food. So like the blacksmith, he's a service, so I can go to him and get weapons and armor crafted. Same with the tailor and the merchant. Those 2 also are services. But if you're a family like a farmer or a rancher, farmers can give you wheat and bread. Ranchers can give you meat. I don't find them as helpful. Usually, like the extra characters that you make will pretty much take up those spots. But yeah, it's highly guaranteed you're going to use one of the characters and make him into a service character rather than one of the other ones, because the other ones are kind of useless, and in my opinion. Anyway, we're going to go to the first dungeon right here. It's called Riverbell Path. And basically that little menu there, it shows you if the tree is active. Like that light blue object there is the myrrh tree. If it's grayed out, that means the tree isn't active, and you won't gain a drop of myrrh once you beat that area. Oh, wait, actually, I forgot something. I'm an idiot. So basically, I mentioned in the little opening to this, I mentioned that there is going to be Moogle spots. And those Moogle spots, there's one in every single town and every single dungeon. And, basically, those Moogle spots, it's like a stamp collecting mission. There's one here in your hometown, which I'm going to go to right here. So this Moogle spot is right behind the crystal at the beginning of the game. And basically when you examine it, you discover a door. When you step inside, everything goes to a little bungalow setting. And, oh, he's hiding behind the Moogle there. So right here, you get this little Moogle, who is called Moogle. And he asks you if you want to get a Mog stamp. Kupo, you don't have a stamp card. Let me tell you about Mog stamps. We Moogles are found all over the world, Kupo. We offer Mog stamps as an incentive to locate and visit all our homes. You'll need this stamp card to get Mog stamps. The stamp card has 23 squares, Kupo. They're divided into sets of 1 to 3 squares of matching colors, Kupo. And there are 9 different kinds of Mog stamps, Kupo. Each Moogle will stamp one onto your card, Kupo. If you collect a set of matching stamps, tell a Moogle who gave you one of those stamps, Kupo. Did you get all that? Yeah, we pretty much got that. Okay, here's your first stamp. Get out there and find more, Kupo. So basically, the stamp collecting thing is like a little side minigame. You don't need to really worry about it, but if you do what he says and collect like some of a set, then you can come up here to whoever gave it to you, and you can talk to whoever is up in your room up there, and they can give you a little minigame, but that only works in multiplayer. I do want to collect all the stamps, which is what I mentioned at the beginning, but we aren't going to be able to do the multiplayer mission. When you're in single player, though, when you come here, you can actually paint your Kupo, or your Moogle guy. Whatever color you paint him will basically allow him to use a certain magic. So he can use fire if he's painted red, thunder if he's painted green, or blizzard if he's painted blue. Or you can also wash all of the paint off him so he doesn't have that effect. Or you can trim his hair in case you go to a dungeon that's like very hot and he may sweat easily. I'm going to paint him red right now, because the first 3 dungeons are all very fire-based. Well, fire would work like a lot better in those ones. So I'm sorry if this is not what you guys were expecting. This is something that we didn't actually have to do in the multiplayer mode because we don't have Mog in the multiplayer mode. But basically, it's kind of needed if you want him to help you out in battle. So, like, paint him. So, don't worry, we will be going to Riverbow Path. I just needed to check this stuff. I promised I was going to be getting all the Mog stamps, and if I just left, like, my town without getting the first one, I'd kind of feel like an idiot. After I mentioned in the beginning that I was going to do it. Anyway, so he's painted red. He, looking good, looking spiffy. You can throw him backwards and forwards like that, paint his underbelly. Anyways, so he's red. He can cast fire magic at times when I need him to, which is kind of sucks for me though because I'm a Lilty and I don't really use magic that much. Now, if you notice here when I was on the map and like right here it says new diary entry. Basically, the diary entries they make up your memories in the game. The memories aren't really important right now. They are important for the end game though. The memories basically hold all of your important... they're like everything that you did up until that point. So all dungeons that you go through and beat, any special things that happens on the map, all that stuff gets recorded into your... they get recorded into this diary that you can find right here when you go to the main menu. And if you read that diary... See right here, I have 3 pages so far because 3 things have happened. There's when you have the beginning, there was one where I left and I met Solrock and his caravan from Alphateria, and there is one for visiting a Moogle nest for the first time. So, I know I will get another one once we actually go into the dungeon. Now, there's also an option to bring a friend from another memory card, so you can take another character from someone else's file on a different memory card and transfer them over to your file. We don't have to do that here. There's also options, and then there's the save game option. I'll do that right now. Now, so as you can see here, there's a lot of files here, but basically the top there, oh, I'm on year, I thought it was year 17, but I'm actually year 18. That one is my very first file I ever did, and I just dick around in it whenever I have time. The Dickville one here, the second one, that's our multiplayer file. We have to go back and do that. We just finished year 1, so we have to go back and start year 2, which is going to be a fun one. I'm going to save over this last one. So that's the Starge That's going to be the file that we go to. Alright, enough talk. It is finally time for me to go into the first dungeon. So the first dungeon is called Riverbow Path. And if you guys saw the first part of the multiplayer Let's Play for our channel, you'll know that it's a pretty easy dungeon, obviously because it's the first dungeon. They don't expect that much from you in this one. It's really a place to get your bearings. So I'm gonna shut up while the intro plays, because that's what we didn't watch in the multiplayer one. So enjoy the intro and Donna Burke's voice.
They say that wicked creatures prowl the road along this beautiful riverbank, but nobody's ever seen one. I once asked a man why. He simply replied, because anybody who happens upon one is promptly eaten. But it is long since anyone has met such a fate. But nowadays, people take another route, far away from the spooky old road. Only we walk the old way now, travelers in crystal caravans.
So every single dungeon has like a little opening like that, which basically gives a little backstory to the level. They're really neat. I love those intros, but I had a feeling that when I started the multiplayer Let's Play, they wouldn't want to watch those, so that's why I would just skip them. Now, basically, every time I'm gonna lower this a bit. So every time you go into a dungeon. Sorry, I have to keep readjusting the camera, cutting stuff off. So every time you're about to go into a dungeon, they ask you to prepare a command list. So basically, you go into your menu, and every menu looks like this, where you start off with attack and defend, and then 2 empty spots. You have your stats there on the side that are from your character. My character is really good at attacking and defending, so that's why, excuse me, his strength and defense are so high compared to his magic. He's actually not really good at magic at all. That's going to be a challenge for me because I actually do need to use magic, especially in later parts of the game. So I'm going to equip my command list with just milk and round corn for now. This actually X's out into a whole slew of menus that you didn't see in the multiplayer Let's Play because all of these showed up on our own screens because we were playing off the Game Boys. So basically, it cuts into all of these separate little sections, and I'll just quickly go through each of them. So there's an item section where you get to look at your items. See, the wheat seed would be a fine gift for your family. That's a kind of clue that you send it off. But it just shows you all the items that you have. Your equipment, it shows you the 4 basic parts of equipment you have. So you have your main weapon, your main set of armor, or clothes, a specific set of armor for your race, and then an accessory. So your artifacts, which are basically the artifacts are the stuff that you pick up in there that, like, say, raise your heart by 1, give you an extra command slot, that can raise your strength, defense, or magic by a bit. That's all the stuff that we were mentioning at the end of the dungeon in the multiplayer Let's Play. The treasures are basically, you find 4 artifacts in each dungeon at a time, and those will be shown here. Money, you always start out with 200 gold, and basically if you increase any of these by any sort of amount, you can drop that on the field. That's only useful for multiplayer mode when you want to trade money with everyone else. Then it shows your favorites, which basically shows what your favorite food is. But what I mentioned before is that eat everything that you find because you can increase every single food up to the highest one. So right now my highest is meat and my least is striped apple. But if I kept eating striped apples, it would go all the way up to where meat is. So if you keep eating everything else, then you'll just love everything. So then shows your family, which is show each member of your family here and whether they adore you or not. This will only change when you send letters to them. Again, that's after you beat a dungeon. So basically, but the father is the only one that counts for me because he can give me discounts if he loves me. Right now he's a little indifferent, but if I send him really nice cards and stuff, then he'll slowly start to love me. So, and basically, yeah, he'll give me discounts if I go and I make weapons and armor and stuff from his shop. So, that's pretty good. And then when you get letters, they all show up here. Right now, we just started dungeon, so we don't have any letters yet. If you saw in the multiplayer Let's Play, you get a letter once you beat the dungeon. I'm not looking forward to the letter I'm getting in this beginning one because you always start with a letter from Roland, which I don't like. Alright, so right now you see I'm juggling this chalice and my buddy Mog is just sitting here. So you drop the chalice and then you press the X button and Mog will go and pick it up. So now you have free range to go around while Mog helps you here. So I'm just going to go around and start messing with this. This little area here, I explained in the multiplayer Let's Play that we needed to do this in case we fuck up before, but we never actually did before, and I can explain that when I go over there. That way leads to a Moogle spot anyways, so I'm going to need to go over there. Alright, so here's some battle. You attack with A. You can change stuff in your command list with L and R, so I can switch between attack and defend and my food. So, and you use that stuff with the A button. For attacking, now Anthony was having trouble with this in the multiplayer mode. He kept saying that he could only hit once, no matter how many times he did it. But it's one of those moves where you have to hit it in succession at the same time. Every class has like a string combo they can do. So if you tap A with like a few seconds between it, it'll do a little combo like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. And then also if you hold A, you get this little ring. This also works with magic too, but when you do it with your weapon, you can launch a focus attack. And that does more damage. The Selkie has the best one, but focus attack for a Lil T, it one-hit kills those guys. Now these orbs that drop, we mentioned it in the first Let's Play as well, those are basically orbs of magic. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to equip that because it is fire, and we do need fire in this level. Basically I'm going to go along and... But as you can see, even though it's very, very strong, Lil T's have a really slow casting time, as you can see here. It takes about 2 seconds for Lil T's to cast magic, as you can see there. When compared to Ukes can cast magic in half a second, which is a really big deal in a game like this. Like, in that time, an enemy could have basically come in and like butt-fucked me. So basically, you can also find these here, which basically, if you drop them on, if you drop these here on this little pedestal here, it'll change the element of your chalice. We briefly mentioned this in the multiplayer Let's Play. They allow you to go to different areas. But also what I didn't mention here is these two little commands here that pop up. There's carry and teleport. If you're at one of these sections here, and you just don't feel like going through the rest of the level, you press teleport, you'll immediately go back to the map. So that's actually really useful if you don't want to, I don't know, do the rest of that mission for whatever reason. Say like you don't feel like doing it. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to get a treasure chest, and I found a cure orb. Cure orbs also really useful because they help, they basically heal you, which, boom, so heal magic, which is really good. What's really good about this game that I like is there's no MP. There's no, like, sort of, like, magic bar. So you're basically, I already have a cure, so I don't need another one. You're not limited to how many times you can use your magic, because that's that would really suck if that was the case. There's an enemy here, so I'm gonna... Oh. Fucking screw him here. Cherry clusters, okay. There's a little door up here. I won't need to go to that yet, but I gotta come back here and get the little switch that I dropped. Sometimes when you defeat enemies in the game, you'll get these little rocks that you have to put into pedestals. Again, briefly mentioned, you just drag them over here to these little pedestal areas here, drop them in, it unlocks whatever door is here. It's required to get through the level, so don't worry. Stuff's common. And there's also the pots of water and oil that basically, if you drop them and then hit magic on them... Oh, life orb, may need that. I'm going to show this as an example. For those who haven't seen the multiplayer Let's Play, if you... actually, while I'm doing this, just put my Phoenix down there. Phoenix Downs can actually revive you automatically if you put them in your command slot. So say I lost all 4 of my hearts, then I would basically revive myself again, because I had the Phoenix Down in my command slot, which is really useful. That's why I always stock up on Phoenix Downs whenever I find them. So basically, I have a pot of oil here. Pot of oils work with fire, while the pot of waters work with blizzard and thunder. So you drop a pot, and it shows a little area that you can hit it here. You hit fire anywhere you're in this area, and it will cause a blaze there. And it's basically like an area of effect attack. Anybody who walks into that area will get hurt and burned. So I'm going to open this first, and I'm going to move down here. Because the next Moogle spot's actually down this area. We didn't go to that area. I forgot to go to that area before. Oh, I'm getting hurt. Oh. This big guy's screwing me. Screwing me up. Oh. There we go. Certain enemies take longer to hit. Now, this is one of the artifacts. This one, depending on the color, will raise a different stat. So, like, this one's orange at the bottom, and it's a shuriken. Basically, this one will raise my, as you can see there on the right, I started with 23 in both strength and defense, but once I picked up that shuriken, it raised my strength by 1. That's really helpful in terms of, like, all the artifacts are either gonna, like, raise certain stats, or stuff like that. That's what it does. We can also raise your stats. As you can see down here, with the food, depending on a certain food that you eat, it can raise one of your stats temporarily. Like you can see the meat can temporarily raise my strength, which I'm going to eat right now. And that raised my strength by 2. So now I have 26 strength, 23 defense, and 10 magic still. That's something that not a lot of people talk about, that I've seen who like play this game. And I had to explain it to my buddies in the I explained it to like William, Anthony, and Chris in the multiplayer Let's Play. So basically, here's one of the first items that we can smith once we get materials. It's an iron shield. The thing is, when you're playing in single player, half of those class-specific scrolls that you get will not be useful to you. So you can actually sell them and gain some more money back so you can use for your own equipment. That's what's really useful about playing in single player mode. You only have to worry about yourself. You don't have to get anything for the Mog buddy here, but yeah, you only have to worry about yourself pretty much. So basically when we were doing the multiplayer Let's Play, we came down, hit the treasure chest, and then went all the way back up to that door. But we didn't check down here. This little area has some more enemies, they can drop some more stuff, and it has the wind, the little wind chalice thing here. We already have a cure orb. The wind, the little wind thing here, it's not useful for this one because we're not going to need it. It's going to be useful on one of the other years that we try to come down. But yeah, this is the other side to that door that I was talking about earlier. So basically you drop the chalice on one, and you lower the bridge down here. And then if you don't feel like going through the rest of the level, you just walk all the way over, and boom, you're back at the beginning of the level again. But we're going to finish this level, don't worry. I know this is taking a long time. Don't worry, guys. We're going to finish this level. This is basically just like a little opener. So. Whoa. Okay. Only thing I don't like about that corridor, it's very tight. So basically sometimes people will drop money, which is very useful to you as well, because money is pretty much needed in this game. You need it to buy materials, you need it to basically do anything in this game. More money, good. And please more money, good. Another 20G. Now here's another treasure chest over here, and it drops this one is another artifact. This is an artifact that raises defense. It's the buckler. And to prove that, my defense went up by 1, as you can see there on the right. It's at 24 now. So I'm going to go back to my command list. Alright. Now, I did not realize this when I first started playing, but there is a Moogle spot, and it's right here. Once you go up to this wall, you see this little rock jutting here from the corner. If you go up to it, you can examine it, and there's a small hole behind it. So, it was really cool when I first found out about it. I was kind of pissed afterwards because I never went back and got it. But yeah, same house. They all live in the same kind of house, so. So this one, you get another Mog stamp from here. It's a different, like as you can see here, it shows you faintly which stamps go with each other. The one I got from my main town is right there, and it only has 1 more to complete that set. The one that I just got here has 2 more in it, so I need to get 2 more stamps to complete that set. So, but basically, I just want to collect all the Mog stamps because I feel like it. It doesn't really do anything unless you're in multiplayer mode, so. that is if you want to play the mini game for it. So you'll know for next time that the hole is always there. But that's what we missed last time when we were doing the multiplayer mode, because we never even, when we were doing the multiplayer Let's Play, we never went down this area. We just got that treasure chest that was over there, and it just went straight back up. It's stuff that you can easily miss if you don't know about it. So, annoying little bugger. Got thunder magic, which I don't really think it's that useful against the boss in this one. So, this bugger. Not really worried about my HP that much in this level. A lot of enemies don't really do that much. So if you see there, I just ate the gourd potato. It took away my +2 to strength and gave me +2 defense now. So it actually just switched around my stats there. So instead of, I have 26 in defense and 24 in strength now, instead of the other way around. So that's a few useful things that you can find for this. Oh, let's see, gonna go up here, hit the big guy. Oh boy. Oh god. The defend command is really kind of useless. Once you recognize the patterns that these guys make, then you can basically just dodge all of their attacks. Right now, right there I got a chunk of bronze, which basically can help me craft stuff later. Bronze gloves, I'm going to use that for myself to basically craft my special armor. Basically the special armor, it's very simple to tell which one's which. Lilties, alright, Clavats have shields. Lilties have gauntlets. Ukes have sallets, which is basically helmets. And Selkies have, I believe, belts. So I talked briefly about that in the other. Goddamn, what's it called? I'm running blank so much right now. In the multiplayer Let's Play, I talk about that briefly once we start finding those. I also picked up the design for a novice weapon, which is going to be useful for me. And the weapons itself don't actually. The weapons don't. What's the word? I am drawing a lot of blanks right now. I am sorry for people who don't like my commentary. Who are more interested in just playing or just watching me play the game. But the weapons, the designs for weapons you pick up are not exclusive to each class. So you don't have to worry about that if it says like pick up a novice weapon. That works for any class. So it just gives you like any class's novice weapon. And the novice weapon is like the first upgradable weapon that we can get because we have probably the worst weapon in this game right now. Alright. Oh, I'm getting butt fucked. Alright. Round corn. Come here. I'm just gonna eat some food quickly. Maybe I can, actually, no. Let's eat a cherry cluster. Like I said, whenever you get food, eat anything that you have, because it'll help raise your favorites up, and that could be really useful to you in the end. So I know it may not seem like much now, but you should really do that later. So what I just picked up there is a purple one. It's Silver Bracer, and that basically brings up your magic. It's going to be kind of useless to me, because I don't have that much magic. Right now I have 13 magic because I ate the cherry clusters. The cherry clusters raises my magic by 2. I'm going to like quickly go through the rest of this, because what's over here? Nothing's over there. I think it's just an overview of what we just came from. Oh god. Coming up. Just gonna quickly. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh, I got the Moogle Pocket too. Moogle Pockets basically give you an extra command slot. There's also the pendants, which give you an extra heart. That stuff gets really useful when you keep like collecting that shit. So right now, see, I got an extra command slot, so I put Blizzard in there. I'm actually gonna switch that for Fire. Fire is actually a lot more useful, especially for when the boss is coming, which is actually right up there. Bronze armor, that's also, it's the same as the weapon, it's for anybody. Only the specific armor is for like certain characters, and then there's like specific accessories as well. Now basically when we got here to the multiplayer level, we just went straight to the boss, but there's also like a little section over here that's kind of useless. I'm assuming it's something that wasn't finished, but it's like a little Moogle house that, you know, they just have shit to say. Oh, a caravaner, Kupo. There's no Murtree here, Kupo. And then there's another one that says, sorry, we can't offer you anything, Kupo. We just moved here, so we really have nothing to offer, Kupo. It's a little, you know, little family of Kupos. Excuse me, Moogles. I don't know, they're pretty innocent enough. So, with all that, we got our command list ready, we got all of that stuff ready, and we're gonna go straight to the boss. And we're gonna watch the boss cutscene again. Alright, so right here is the first boss. He is a giant enemy crab. Yes, and I know that sounds really silly. It is kind of silly. But he is the first boss, and he's pretty easy to face once you get like the pattern of what he does down. He's really, he's weak to fire, which is why I put fire in. He's got a number of main attacks. He can shoot out that bubble, which basically slows you down. It doesn't hurt you. He can hit you with that claw, which is pretty damn deadly. Or he can also do this, which shoot out some like stunning like thunder magic ray. But after you get him down to a certain amount of HP, you start losing some of him. See, like right there, he lost his claw, which means he can't use the claw again. But he can still hit you with the shield. And he can start jumping around like that. So right now you notice I'm not using as much magic because I'm a little T. I'm much more akin to just coming up and wailing at him with, oh, as soon as I say that I get fucking butt raped. Okay, move around, and just start heal me. Oh god, no. Alright, I'm gonna take that time to heal myself by eating some food. Maybe I can... Okay, I didn't do anything, so I'm just gonna eat meat. Fuck it. Alright. Oh god, okay. But this guy's pretty easy once you get his pattern down. He just hits you with the same stuff all the time. So once he loses his shield here, he adds an additional attack to his little repertoire. He can cast Thundera or Thundaga. I think Thundaga doesn't come until the second and third waves, but he can cast Thundera, which is like an upper, like a better spell of thunder. It has more of a range on it, and he just hit me with freaking... Yeah, he just hit me with slow, which is making me move much more slowly. It doesn't matter that much because he got one hit left, and boom. Killed him. Now, it's much easier to work by yourself than with a party, especially in this game, with all the shit that happens, so... And at the end of every dungeon, you come across the Murtree, and it shows you this little clip where your characters go and bring up the chalice to basically go and get some myrrh. To get a drop of myrrh. Little scene here, yeah. And that there is the first dungeon. That was Riverbell Path. So every time you get a drop of myrrh, you get another diary entry as well. And then right after you beat the dungeon, you get some mail. The mail is basically where you get to interact with your family. I don't get to interact with my family here because I automatically get a letter from Roland. I really don't like getting the letter from Roland, but it doesn't matter. He always gives you the first letter. So it's to our caravan. How is everything? You may be facing hardships that drag your spirits down, but always remember that the caravan gives hope to us all. May you return safely, Kikuchi. And you can give him a series of responses. It doesn't really matter which ones you give him. The responses matter when you're talking to your family. Like if you give them a dickish response, they won't love you as much, or they'll get upset with you. So you try to give them like really good responses that will make them feel happy. Like this one, I'll just say thank you, and I will send nothing because you're Roland, and you're not going to give me anything special. So, and then at that point, you can just look around your stuff if you need to change anything around. The magic doesn't stay with you from level to level, so once I go to the next dungeon, I'm not going to have any of these magic orbs with me anymore. That's why I'm putting in the Phoenix Downs and... excuse me. Oh, jeez. That's why I'm putting in like the Phoenix Downs and meat and all that. So basically that's pretty much it for that. So you reply to him, then he goes on his merry way. And then right after that, you get to choose the artifact that you get to keep. Now the bonus points section here only works, or is only really relevant when you're playing multiplayer. As you saw that in the last one, basically everyone had a little goal in mind that they had to work through. Mine here is inflict damage, but I'm the only one in this. I'm solo let's playing this. So basically my file won't have to worry about that. I'm always going to be able to choose artifacts first. So basically when you get a whole list of shit that you can choose from. I'm very biased when choosing what I think is the best artifacts. I always think that the Moogle pockets and the pockets and the pendants are the best to start with. Sometimes you'll get materials as well, like in the later levels you'll get orichalcum and stuff like that, which are really useful when you get to crafting better weapons. But you get a lot of the artifacts that raise your strength, defense, and magic. See, if I was playing the Uke, I'd go straight to this, the magic +3. But I'm gonna get the Moogle pocket, which will give me another command slot. And guys, that is it for part 1. That was the Riverbell Path. I am going to end it here, and I'll see you guys next time.